Welcome to Commander Class episode 107. This one is going to be one of my favourite keywords of all time that I'll be going through. I absolutely love this. And if you don't know what Annihilator is, we will be going over it, showing a few cards and explaining the best ways to use Annihilator. But before I go any further, a word from our sponsor. I know people hate these sponsor things, but it does help out. If you like me or what I do, I have a small little Etsy shop where I make t-shirts and hoodies in different sizes and colours with designs that are made for people to enjoy. And then pretty much what happens is you buy the t-shirt, I get a little bit of money, and then I'm able to put it back into the channel to make videos better for you. So again, if you like me and what I do, please go down in the link, like, follow, comment, do all that other YouTube stuff we always ask for, and buy yourself something nice. But what is Annihilator? Well, the definition of Annihilator is...
Annihilator. This ability is written Annihilator X. Whenever a creature with Annihilator attacks, the defending player sacrifices X permanents. Annihilator abilities trigger and resolve during the declare attacker step. The defending player chooses and sacrifices the required number of permanents before he or she declares blockers. This is a triggered ability that appears exclusively on colorless Eldrazi cards from Rise of the Eldrazi.
If you don't understand that, the layman term is if a creature has Annihilate X on it, when you attack, the opponent you are attacking has to sacrifice X amount of cards. And then after that, then they get to choose who blocks the creature. Now this is a very powerful keyword, especially because most creatures have Annihilate 1, 2 or 3 and the highest is 6. But the annoying thing about Annihilator is you literally go, I will attack you with an 8-8 for example, with Annihilator 3. And they have a 5-5 and that's their only creature. They have a choice. They can annihilate the cards that is on the previous card, so 3. But then when they block, that creature also dies, so during that combat they got rid of 4 cards. Or they have a choice of getting rid of the creature as one as the Annihilator triggers, but then taking 8 damage. When it comes to Annihilator, they are seen on big, massive Eldrazi creatures. If you don't know what Eldrazi are, pretty much the best way to put it is every single universe is in a bubble, and the bubbles touch each other, and there's like a swamp area in between where these kind of giant tentacle creatures live, and ever so often they'll pop inside a bubble and cause as much damage and hectic stuff as possible. Most of these are colourless, but over the years they have overgrown and learned how to become different variations of colours. Another good thing about Annihilator is it stops hexproof and indestructible because you are not targeting the creature for it to be destroyed, and also when it comes to sacrificing, it gets around indestructible. Your opponent has to pick, and when it comes to hexproof, your opponents are allowed to pick cards themselves. The good and downside thing is that they're able to pick lands or anything they own and tokens and stuff, so a lot of the time people just try and get rid of the weakest stuff they have on the board, but there's a lot of players out there that have really powerful decks that everything in their deck is good or that they need, so get very frustrated when it comes to this keyword. In my opinion, this is one of the most powerful keywords in Magic the Gathering because you're pretty much going and slowing the game down for an opponent. You are attacking if you can attack with or get as much Annihilator on as many creatures as you can. You're slowing them down because it gets to the point where if you do like a board wipe and then attack, they've only got lands to get rid of or enchantments or artifacts. If you get rid of everything on their field but lands and somehow you still have a creature and attack with Annihilator, you're then getting rid of their lands. The more Annihilator creatures you have, the more slows down the game for your opponent, the faster you can then grow and then win the game. That's why when it comes to this, there's only a whopping 14 creatures and only a handful of ways to get Annihilator. This is perfect in my opinion. Annihilator is such a powerful keyword. Having loads and like tens or hundreds of cards with Annihilator will make it that games are just unplayable, especially if it becomes a kind of new technique to kind of win the game faster. It is such a broken keyword. The only way to make sure that it's good and stays actually good is by having a finite amount of cards that use it. Plus also keeping it to Annihilator 1, 2 or 3 is probably the best bit, with ever so often the stronger creatures getting 4, 5 and 6. When it comes to commanders though, there is only 3 and they are the big 3 titans. If you don't know what titans are, so far as we know lore wise, These are the 3 biggest and strongest Titans or Eldrazi in Magic the Gathering. So if you've never seen these cards, here are the 3 commanders you can play on screen right now.
Kozilek, Butcher of Truth. Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre. Imrakal, the Aeon's Torn.
My final thoughts when it comes to this is Eldrazi are amazing. Eldrazi is one of my favourite creature types, and Annihilator is one of my favourite keywords. It is so powerful. The only downside in my opinion is it is a keyword that is hated. There is a lot of opponents out there that really do not like Annihilator, that find it really annoying because you're getting rid of their resources, and if you do it really well and use it a lot, you'll end up getting rid of their lands, and no one likes land destruction in Magic the Gathering. But if you have learned something or have any questions on Annihilator, let me know in the comments down below. While you're there, remember to like and subscribe and do all that YouTube annoying stuff we do. I make a Commander class every single Friday, so if you're interested in watching more, I have last week's previous class. Here, a playlist of all the Magic the Gathering Commander classes I've made here, and a subscribe button here, and I will see you all in the next video.